Warning, the Stone Age Gamer includes a lot of bad language. Cover your mother ears.
Ho, 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 ho.
Merry Christmas!
Good evening and welcome to the Stone Age Gamer Podcast. I am Kris Randazzo and joining me tonight is the jolliest asshole this side of the nut house, Dan Ryan.
Yep. You know what I want? I want my boss. Right here.
Frank Shirley.
Right here.
Oh.
It's so exciting because I didn't look at the script yet because that's where your notes are.
Yeah, don't look at the script.
Yeah, that's great.
That's right. And you know what? We're joined sort of specially tonight because we're joined by our intrepid editor who's going to help us have the happiest Christmas since Bing Crosby tap danced with Danny fucking Kaye. Evan Goldstein.
Where's the Tylenol, right? It was a specific...
Yes, where's the Tylenol?
Holy shit! Where's the Tylenol?
Hallelujah, holy shit, where's the Tylenol? You know what? The theme song to that movie almost made my list. It really did. I have a thing about... You know what? We're going to get to that in a little bit. Dan and I are doing things a little bit differently tonight. Obviously, we both love video games. Obviously, that's why we do this podcast. But we also love Christmas music. And Dan had this wonderful idea to just say, fuck it. We're going to count down our top 10 Christmas songs. This has pretty much nothing to do with video games, except for a couple of my picks, because I'm me.
Yeah,
But yeah, so we're just going to do a Christmas special. So if you're not interested in Christmas music, you're probably not going to enjoy this episode. But if you are even vaguely interested in wanting to like Christmas music, or just hearing our thoughts on it, this is a good time. Bring us some figgy pudding, because the Stone Age Gamer Podcast starts now.
It's so
Hi,
good.
everyone. This is episode 389. It is the week of December 17th, 2021, and Dan and I are in the holiday spirit, and we're joined by our intrepid editor, Evan.
Yo. Wolfman Evan.
He's going to be talking like that the whole night long. Evan's going to be playing DJ for us tonight. So he's going to be actually playing the song. So Dan and I have come up with lists of our top 10 Christmas songs, and we're just going to start counting them down and explaining why. Now, this is a decent chunk of music, so we're just going to be playing snippets of our top 7.
Yes.
And then our top 3s, we're going to play the whole songs for you.
Yeah, that tracks. DJ EJG on the 1s and 2s will be dropping in those hot beats because all of mine are, of course, hip hop. Knowing me, no. Yeah, no. This is going to be either the best episode we've ever recorded or a complete and utter shit show. I'm guessing it's going to be both.
That seems right. Looking forward to this. Like, so very much.
Me too, man.
You know,
like,
I just want to listen to a bunch of freaking Christmas music. This is going to be great.
How long ago did I suggest this? Like a month and a half ago?
Probably, yeah.
And I've been sitting here like, I have been plaguing over, like, 1, 2, and 3. My 1, 2, and 3 have been set for the last 15, 20 years, whatever. But after that, it gets a lot shakier. And I plagued over this.
This was a tough list to come up with, and there was a bunch that I left out that I just absolutely love. And one of the things that's exciting me a lot about this is one of the things that I love to do on Waveback, for the 5 people who may not know about that, is it's another podcast that I do that's just solely focused on video game music, is not just discovering music, but also sharing some of my favorite stuff that some people might not know. And I can just about guarantee there is at least one song on my list that none of you have heard. Which is
I'm pretty excited about that.
One of the reasons it's on my list. I love this music, and I'm so curious what your list is, and I'm excited to maybe show off some Christmas music that maybe some folks haven't heard before. That is, in my opinion, really, really freaking great. So, we're gonna skip the usual pleasantries, and I think we should just get right to work, shall we, Mr. Dan?
Yes. With one thing I do want to mention before we jump in. I said 2 weeks ago, because the interview, I don't remember, time has no meaning. I picked up Death's Door. I can't fucking say those two words back to back. I don't know what's wrong with me. The Door of Death. I picked up that game, and it's giving me if Miyazaki made an isometric 3D adventure game inspired by the original Legend of Zelda, I feel like that's what this game would be.
Well, all right then.
Yeah, it's great.
On the other hand,
great.
I ran a poll on Twitter because I am going to have vacation time.
Ew.
I'm going to have 2 weeks of not working.
Fun.
And I'm going to dedicate as much of that time as I can to playing games. And 3 games that I am attempting to beat during this break are Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Secret of Mana, and Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Good luck.
Those are my 3 wishes to get done in 2 weeks of not having to work. So I did a poll on Twitter about which game I should attack first, and Star Wars won, which was a bit of a surprise to me. I thought Ori was a shoo-in, but hey.
Nah, man, I think you're going to love it. I think you're going to love it.
I'm super excited about it. But I'm also super excited to start talking about Christmas music.
Let's
get to
do
work. All right, so Dan, since this was your idea, you're going to finish with the number 1 spot, which means that I get to kick us off with my number 10. So my number 10 is a song that means a lot to me. You were somewhat surprised. You're going to be surprised that this is all the way in the number 10 spot, and it is the I've already forgotten the name of the track. There it is. I don't actually know what the actual name of this track is. It's just I just have it because I ripped this off the internet ages and ages ago. It's just called Scrooge, and this is the opening number from Muppet Christmas Carol.
Is this One More Sleep Till Christmas, or
no? This is the opening number where they're introducing you to Scrooge, and my thing is, I have a deep-seated love for several Christmas movies.
Sure.
And this is one of my favorites. It's not my favorite, but it's one of my favorites. And for some reason, Christmas movie music kind of like exists in this separate entity from regular Christmas music for the most part. Like, I don't usually like listening to the songs from Christmas movies without the movies themselves.
I can see that with few exceptions. I can see that.
Like this song is on my little Christmas playlist that I whip out every year, and it's because because it's one of my favorites. But when I think of Christmas music that really pulls at the heartstrings, there's several songs from Mr. Magoo's Christmas Carol. That's just those songs are Christmas to me, but they're so linked to that movie that I don't think of them as Christmas songs because I don't listen to them separately. I refuse to listen to those songs without having the visuals that go along with it.
Sure.
This, on the other hand, takes a little bit of a separate piece for me because when I first started working at Funcoland at the ripe young age of 15, which is pretty illegal, I think.
Yeah. Yay, child labor laws.
The store manager I had at the time for the first Black Friday I ever worked. Now this was a long time ago. Black Friday was such a different animal back then. This was before everyone knew what Black Friday was. Black Friday was everyone knew the day after Thanksgiving was the day to go shopping, but it wasn't like, come to our Black Friday sale. It was like, what's Black Friday? It was an industry thing. It wasn't a publicized holiday.
Right.
And
it was just the day that your mom and your aunt got up and went shopping.
Exactly. Everybody gave their Christmas lists on Thanksgiving, so the next day everyone goes out and tries to score the deals,
Yeah.
So Funcoland was just mobbed all day, and it was the coolest thing ever. I was so excited to try and work that day. I was like kind of scared and nervous, but my manager threw in a copy of Muppet Christmas Carol instead of the loop of VHS trailers and stuff that would play.
Right.
He just threw Muppet Christmas Carol in and played it all day long.
That's awesome.
All day long, that kept me sane throughout all of Black Friday. And every retail job I had since, up until I worked at the comic book store with Evan, every other retail job, we found a way to have Muppet Christmas Carol playing all day somewhere while I was working on Black Friday. And it's just a Christmas tradition to me. So this is Scrooge from Muppet Christmas Carol, and we'll discuss the joyities of why I love it so much after it's over. So here it is. Enjoy.
Kind as any, and the wrath of many. This is Ebenezer Scrooge.
Oh, there goes Mr. Humbug. There goes Mr. Grim. If they gave a prize for being mean, the winner would be him. Old Scrooge, he loves his money 'cause he thinks it gives him power. If he became a flavor, you can bet he would be sour.
Yucca.
Okay, so that was Scrooge from the Muppet Christmas Carol, and that specific song was the one that once Black Friday started, that was the one that hit me because I had never seen this movie before, and it's such a joyous Muppety song, and
it's so good.
It's so good, and just the whole time you got Michael Caine stomping around to the rhythm until the end of the song when he turns around, and it's a great piece, and it stinks that the official soundtrack version doesn't have all of the extra voices and stuff in there.
Sure.
At the end there, I think there's a voice that goes, "Even the vegetables don't like him." I just love that song.
It's just great. It's a great version of A Christmas Carol, which is I just saw for the first time over Thanksgiving break. My father-in-law was up here, and we watched the Albert Finney Scrooge that has the "Thank you very much, that song in it. I had never seen that before. And I hated every second of it because it wasn't Muppet Christmas Carol. Like, it's not bad. It's one of those things where you had to see it, I guess, when you were younger, because Tiff likes it. My father-in-law, Rick, loves it because that's the one that he grew up on. You know, Alec Guinness, Obi-Wan, is in it, and he's doing some weird stage bullshit that doesn't work on screen. It's fucking terrible. It's just awful. Muppet Christmas Carol, though, good stuff.
Muppet Christmas Carol is a work of art. I adore that. Obviously, Mr. Magoo's Christmas Carol is in my top of all time.
It's pretty great.
Other Christmas Carol, I'm like, more or less okay with. I just like the story. But now, number one favorite Christmas movie is Muppet Family Christmas.
That's really good stuff.
That's a masterpiece. But yeah, there's my number 10.
All right, so my number 10 is possibly like the weirdest selection, I think, for me, for anyone who knows me, and the music that I like, to have on my top 10. And this is one that I really, really struggled with for a long time. And I say that because it's been, I don't know if well documented is the way that I would put it on the podcast, but the relationship that I have or the non-existent relationship that I have with my mother and my stepfather and all of that is known. We've mentioned it before, but it's been a thing for almost 10 years at this point since I've spoken to them, right? And this song that I'm about to play here comes from a cassette tape that used to come out right around Thanksgiving every year when I was a kid. And it's one of those things. It's the first track on side A of the cassette, right? That's the way that I listened to it in the conversion van, getting driven to soccer practice or whatever the hell it might have been. And when this came out, every year it was like, oh, sweet, it's Christmas time. And it became, this entire record became just the start of the Christmas season for me, because my mom would not put it on until it was, Thanksgiving. That's always kind of been the rule, right? Thanksgiving, that's when the Christmas music starts.
Damn straight.
And I am not a big country music fan of modern country. I like old, my dog died and my pickup truck ran away kind of country. That's the stuff that I like, right? The crying in your beer, Johnny Cash, Merle Haggard kind of country. My dog died and the pickup truck ran away. That's the best country songs.
Just
are about those.
Your beer.
That's right, about
Good
those
times.
things. And this song is called "I Believe in Santa Claus," and it is by the greatest of country music pairings, if there ever was one, and that would be Miss Dolly Parton and Mr. Kenny Rogers. I fucking adore the two of them. I love them to itty bitty, tiny little pieces. And like I said, this was a thing where I did not listen to this record for a very, very long time. And only within the last year or two have I been emotionally okay enough to be able to put this record back on around Christmas time. It came out, the record is called Once Upon a Christmas. It came out in 1984. So I've been listening to this record since I was 4 years old.
Wow.
And yeah, it's the track is called "I Believe in Santa Claus," and it is my number 10. Enjoy.
I believe in Santa Claus. I believe in Santa Claus. I'll tell you why I do. 'Cause I believe that dreams and plans and wishes can come true.
I believe in miracles. I believe in magic too. I believe in Santa Claus and I believe in you.
I believe in family, in country and in smile. I believe in turning negatives to positives in life.
I believe in looking farther up, the farther down we get. I believe when someone hurts us, we should forgive and forget. And I believe in Santa Claus. I believe in Santa Claus.
God damn it, I love the way their voices come together.
That's I mean,
Oh.
stylistically, the kinds of things that I like, this could probably not be further away from.
Right?
The slide guitar kind of makes me want to puke, but damn, the two of them harmonize quite well. That really really does transcend the medium.
If I could
really
just
does.
chime in for just a second, gentlemen.
Please do. Please do.
I want to correct something I said pre-recording, Dan.
Yes.
I was just looking at your list when I said your number one was wrong
Oh.
because of the way you listed them. I was looking at the same way Kris is. So I was under the impression that this was your number one.
Oh, no. God,
And
no.
and now I'm going to say I am much happier with your number one.
All right, yeah. No, God, this is not my number one. I love this dearly. Dearly do I love this record. It was 2 years ago, we were driving down to, God, I don't even remember where we were driving to. I think we were going to visit my sister-in-law in Virginia around for the holidays. And I was like, you know what? We pulled over at a rest stop on 95 somewhere in Maryland. And Tiff had taken the girls into the bathroom. And I was sitting there in the car, and I usually have my usual playlist for Christmas going. And I sat there and I thought to myself, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm over it. And I put on the entire record, and we just listened to it, and the kids got in the car, and they looked at me, because that music came on at the beginning, and the kids are looking at me like I'm crazy. And Tiff looked over at me, and I just had this look in my eyes, and she turned around and went, "Your father needs this." And we just drove listening to the Kenny and Dolly Once Upon a Christmas. It's so good. It's so good. I love it. What you got next?
Well, I mean,
That's right. How do you follow up that shit, Kris?
right? How do you follow that shit up? Well, I'll tell you how. So, when I met Karen, I fell for her almost instantly. And meeting her family was an interesting experience for a number of reasons, none the least of which was when I found out that her family is really, really into music. Specifically, her dad was a blues musician, and her dad passed away, and her stepdad was, surprise, also a blues musician. So every time we would go to her house for any sort of gathering or anything, there was always good music playing, like really good music, like classic soul, blues, or doo-wop, Motown. There's always really good stuff playing. I knew almost none of it, and it never mattered because it was always really, really freaking good music. One year for Christmas, we went to her house to do Christmassy stuff, and her then father-in-law, her parents have since split up. Her mom and stepdad have since split up, but this guy's name was Donnie. And I'm going to tie this into video games because Donnie actually worked on the movie Tron. He helped design and program all the bit character in Tron.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. Donnie was a pretty cool guy. Anyway, he put on this CD, and honestly, my number 9 is this entire CD, okay? Like, I picked one track, my favorite track from it, but this entire CD, top to bottom, is a masterpiece. This is Sax Gordon and Doug James. The album is called Jolly Jump Jive, which is unfortunately not streaming or available for purchase anywhere currently, which is a huge bummer. But he played this record, and I loved it, and he wound up giving me a copy of it because I loved it so darn much. So the song we're going to listen to, or the piece of a song we're going to listen to, is their rendition of Here Comes Santa Claus, and it will give you an idea of exactly what this record is. So let's go ahead and give it a listen. Here is Here Comes Santa Claus by Sax Gordon and Doug James from Jolly Jump Jive. Enjoy. I have no idea how long you've been listening to it because I played the wrong damn track on my end.
That's good stuff.
You made it through the 41 seconds?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Good. Yeah, so I mean, I just love it. The whole album is just this wonderful saxophone, like, I don't know, just really, really fun. The record itself on the cover says, a swingin', rockin' good times Christmas. And really, if that doesn't sum it all up, I don't know what does.
I'll tell you, I love swinging on Christmas. So, it's one of my favorite holiday traditions.
I see what you did there.
Oh, did you? Yeah, no, that's great. And that's like old school saxophone tone, not like this avant-garde funk jazz weird, just I'm going to play as many notes as I possibly can in, whatever 4/4 time. That is just old school, traditional, this is what a saxophone is supposed to sound like. That was awesome.
I'm very much glad you enjoyed it. I've been thinking about just trying to upload this whole record to my YouTube channel just so that I can put it out there into the world, because honestly, I can't tell you how many times I've listened to this record. As soon as the holidays start, as soon as Thanksgiving is over, this is one of the first things that just gets put on in my car, and when we're driving out to pick out a Christmas tree or whatever. Like, this is just such a good album, and I love this music with all of my heart and soul.
That is outstanding. All right, well,
Dan, what you got? What's your number 9?
For my number 9, this I think is probably the most traditional Christmas song that I have on here, but I just one of the things that I think is great about Christmas, and you'll see this kind of in a lot of the remaining songs that I have as a recurring theme of the holiday season is there's both equal parts desperation and hopefulness that I think are perfectly encapsulated in this particular time of year, especially, and I can say this as somebody who used to live in the South, in the North and Northeast more specifically. There's something about the sun going down at 3:12 every day where it's like, nope, it's pitch black dark outside and it's cold. Like there's something that just desperation, that hopelessness and hopefulness that is perfectly captured in the Christmas season. And I think one of the songs that really, really captures that perfectly is my number 9. It was originally released in 1963 on the compilation record A Christmas Gift for You from Phil Spector. It is a song that has gone in and out of the holiday charts multiple times throughout the years. It's one of those songs that has that staying power, and when you hear it, it's just like, yes, there's the emotion in this lady's voice is it's just staggering to me. It's the kind of thing where if you really sit and listen to it, and like I'm weird about music, not weird because a lot of people are this way, but you know, there are certain songs that where if you truly stop and feel the song, it'll put you in your seat for a little bit, and you just got to stop and have a think. And this, I believe, is one of those songs, and that is my number 9 is "Christmas, Baby Please Come Home" by Darlene Love. Enjoy.
Nice.
And you really don't need much more than that. You've heard the song before.
You need all of it. You need every freaking ounce of it.
I know.
Recording in specific is such a good pick.
You do. You need every single second of that song. But like, I just wanted to get that baby please come. Like, oh my God, it's just it's a beautiful song. It's heartbreaking and hopeful, and all of those things that that this time of year is supposed to be, and I just love it to pieces. I love almost every cover version I've heard of this song. Death Cab for Cutie has an incredible version of this song. Yeah,
that was on my almost made it list, as a matter of fact.
It's so good.
That's such a really, really pretty version of it.
It's so good. This is, like I said, this is probably the most traditional like holiday song. Or the most, not traditional, but the most mainstream holiday song that I have on my list, but it's too good not to.
Yeah, you're 100% right. It absolutely belongs on a top 10 list. It's just really flipping good.
Yeah, really is.
All
right, what you got for number 8?
All right, so my number 8, it should come as no surprise to those who know me that I like chiptune music. And not just traditional video game music, but also new music from chiptune artists I find rather fascinating. But I'm also pretty much a stickler for it. Like, I like classic video game compositions, typically speaking, way more than I like newer compositions from folks like Anamanaguchi or whatever, with the exception of Bit Shifter's Information Chase. It is one of my favorite albums, any medium ever. So when I found out that Bit Shifter had done some Christmas music, I could not have possibly been happier.
I'm in.
There's actually 2 songs that Bit Shifter did that I know of that are Christmas songs. And while the other one is, I keep forgetting which one it is because I only recently discovered it, is Let It Snow. And it is phenomenal. This is the one that has more attachment to me because this is the first one that I had heard of the two, as far as I know, Christmas songs that BitShifter did. And goodness gracious me, it is so flippin' much fun. This is was put on a Christmas chiptune compilations album. I've downloaded a ton of those and liked about maybe 4% of the music I've ever actually found on them.
Aw.
I mean, like
it's hard. It's hard to do. Yeah.
It's hard to play to my specific sensibilities. The stuff on it is good, generally speaking, very well done, just not my exact flavor. This, however, is fantastic. This is Winter Wonderland, as done by BitShifter. Enjoy. It's just so
that's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous, and I loved every second of it.
I just love it. I love the whole darn thing. It's a short one. It's only a minute 55 for the whole track. Worth every freaking second of it, man. It's so good.
Yeah, that's good stuff, man. I've been listening to a lot of lo-fi Christmas music. Like, I'll put it on as I'm working, on stuff or whatever, just like searching up lo-fi Christmas. And I've looked for some like 8-bit chiptune Christmas stuff, and like you said, maybe 4% of it is listenable. For me,
I can give you a pretty decent handful of what I would consider very good video game chiptunes. I just discovered a record this year. Let me see if I can find it real quick. The name of it. Which playlist did I throw it in? I have so many Christmas playlists. It's ridiculous.
Oh, no, me too.
This one is called 8-Bit Christmas by Rush Coil. And just kind of stumbled on it earlier this year, and all the songs are actual mashups of real video game songs and Christmas songs. The one that caught my attention was Little Drummer Boy, which is a mashup of the Area 1's theme from Blaster Master and Little Drummer Boy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just brilliant.
That's awesome.
My only gripe about it is that it's all using one type of 8-bit instrument sound. It would have been way cooler if if Rush Coil had managed to actually match the 8-bit instruments that these games originally used to do these compositions with. That would be my only gripe about it. Other than that, it's a really freaking cool album. It's super fun to listen to. I would also recommend Dr. Octorock's Christmas album, which goes through a series of Christmas songs done in the style of specific video game songs, so they're not like actually a mashup of this, like a Street Fighter song. Like there's a song called Ryu the Red-Nosed Ninja, which is done.
I'm into
done
that.
Like it's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer done stylized like a Street Fighter song.
Wow.
It's pretty neat. Like Joy to Commando is very much Commando. We 3 Konami just kind of has that classic Konami sound. You know what I mean?
Nice.
It's pretty cool. And I've met Dr. Octorok a couple times. He's a nice dude.
Very cool.
All right. So what you got? What's your number 8, sir? What's the Ocho?
All right. So our 6th song of the evening and my number 8. I again, if you know me, there was no way that this particular song was not going to make my top 10 list. It was I think I was in 7th grade, and I sat next to a kid in 7th grade, this kid Allie, and I had never, like, as we heard with my first track of the evening, the number 10 on my list, I grew up listening to a lot of country music and hating most of it. My mother was not cool, and did not introduce me to cool music, and I went very hardcore against all of that into like underground punk and metal and that sort of stuff. But in seventh grade, I was fully immersed in the world of the Beatles by my friend Allie. And knowing the kind of counterculture asshole that I was back then, naturally I gravitated towards Mr. John Lennon. And upon discovering this song, Happy Christmas, War is Over, and realizing what the song really was, in the fact that it was a Christmas song about, hope, but also was a protest song against the Vietnam War, originally released here in the United States in 1971, just like made me love it all that much more. And John Lennon is one of those dudes where, like, I'm very sad that he was killed when he was, but I'm also kind of glad that we didn't have to deal with him becoming the insufferable prick that he would have become had he been allowed to live until, like, could you imagine if he was alive today? Oh my God, we'd all just be like, Jesus, John, shut up. Just please shut up. We get it. You're better than everyone. It's amazing. But yeah, this song is, again, it strikes that really wonderful balance of desperation and hope. The way he delivers the lyrics in this song, you've heard the song, everybody's heard the song, but it is the number 8 on my list. Happy Christmas, War is Over by John Lennon, Yoko Ono, and the Plastic Ono Band, I believe is the full official. Oh, and the Harlem Choir, which is just, I'm a sucker for choirs as well.
And the Harlem Globetrotters.
And the Harlem Globetrotters as well. Nobody knows that. It's a little known fact. So here you go. Enjoy.
So this is Christmas, and what have you done? Another year over, and a new one just begun. And so this is Christmas, I hope you have fun. The near and the dear ones, the old and the young.
A little fun fact about that song is the bass drum hits are actually basketballs hitting the ground.
Again, little tidbits that nobody knew. No, I always really loved the just kind of that opening line. So this is Christmas, and what have you done? Like this challenge that John Lennon was putting out to the world of how, to me it's always been, how have you made this a better place? Right. I hope you had fun, young and old, near and the dear ones, whatever. I hope you had a good time this past year, but really think about, it's kind of this reflective period in his life as well, coming off of the massive success that was the Beatles, and now what is he post Beatles in the world where he has so much influence and so much stroke, and can push people into progressive, positive things. In his mind, what was progressive and positive, that challenge that's laid out right there at the beginning of the song is kind of daring for a Christmas song, and I think is something that is kind of lost on us now. I was about to say, because I'm an asshole, I was about to say 30 some odd years later, but what I really meant was 50 years later, because fuck. God damn it, that just hit me, and that's going to take a minute. That's going to leave a mark, Chris. I'm going to have to have a sit.
Does. We're old, we bruise like tomatoes.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So 50 years ago, when that song came out in 1971, right? If my math is correct, that would be 50 years ago. God, like, that the message still rings true. What have you done to make the world a better place this year? And if you haven't done something, there's still time. And I think that's kind of a wonderful thing.
Yeah, this has never really been one of those songs that sticks with me, because I am a heathen that's not really a big Beatles fan.
Which is madness. Absolute madness.
I have the utmost respect for the Beatles, for sure. It's just their music has never really connected with me. But there are certain things when, like, I've never really paid attention to the lyrics of this. I had no idea I actually never knew what this song was called. That's how little it had any effect on me. But you explaining it is like, that's pretty interesting right there. All right, cool.
Yeah, in the years leading up to the recording of this song, John Lennon and Yoko Ono had gone around to a bunch of major cities and rented billboard space protesting the Vietnam War around Christmas time. This was in like 67 to 68, I believe. I could be off on the time there. And they had pretty much put up the message on the billboard, war is over, happy Christmas, love John and Yoko. And as, you know, sentiment and politics changed in the country, and this was still kind of brewing in the back of his mind as he went to record the song, that's where they pulled the name from. But this is what I'm saying, like the insufferable prick that this guy would have become. You know what I mean? Like, I love him to pieces, don't get me wrong, but man, he would have been impossible to deal with.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're probably not wrong.
I'm not, even a little bit. Even a little bit. Ferg will back me up on this one.
I'm certain that he will. All right. Number 7 for me is also from a band who tragically lost their lead singer. Not lead singer, actually, lead songwriter. But that was only more recently, and this guy was never going to be an insufferable prick. I'm talking about Fountains of Wayne.
Oh, I'm really hoping this is the one that almost made my list.
I don't know how many Christmas songs Fountains of Wayne has, so...
I think it's just this one, and I fucking love this song.
Yeah, I think it's just this one as well. So, Fountains of Wayne is one of my favorite bands ever. So, the first time I heard this song was pretty much a revelation. The song is "I Want an Alien for Christmas."
God, yes, I love it so much. Yeah, this would have been. This is in the top 15. I don't know where, but it's in that 11 to 15 range for me.
Such a fun little song. Good. It's like a really great tune. It's got fantastic lyrics about a kid who wants an alien for Christmas, who wants to, hang out with him, promises he's going to take care of him. Please bring me an alien. Fun fact.
My kids love this song.
Because why wouldn't they? This song's great.
This is one of those songs that, like, I snuck onto the weird Christmas playlist that I have, and like every time this comes on, they're like, I love this song. Yes. They're like fucking Johnny Depp in the first Pirates of the Caribbean.
Well, here's a fun fact about this song. This song was written for Hanson. Back when
God,
Hanson,
I hated that fact. That's not fun. I almost choked. I was drinking.
Here's what's fun about it. So Hanson, they were super popular around when this song, before this song came out. And Adam Schlesinger, I hope I'm getting that right. Now I'm blanking on names.
Yeah,
he
it is.
He wrote this. Yeah, he wrote this song for them, as it would be a fun thing for them to record. And they were like, "Ew, no, this isn't for us." So they recorded it, and it's one of the best Christmas songs ever. Because
I love it.
Honestly, Adam Schlesinger was a monster. Just so much good music that guy is responsible for that is not obvious, because he never made a name for himself or anything like that. But that dude was behind a lot of great music. And this is my clip that I chose. Like, it was hard to pick a piece of this song to listen to. So here's about 36 seconds of "I Want an Alien for Christmas" by Fountains of Wayne. Enjoy.
I'll always keep him company. He'll never be alone. And we can hang around the house all day and watch the twilight zone. I want an alien for Christmas. Bring me an alien this year. I want a little green guy about 3 feet high with 17 eyes who knows how to fly. I want an alien for Christmas this year.
I love it. So I want a little green guy about 3 feet high with 17 eyes who knows how to fly. It's so good.
Yep, it's so good.
It's so good. I love it so much.
Walks when it gets nicer in the spring. It is such. It's like the modern equivalent of. I mean, the song's pretty flippin' old now, but it's a modern equivalent of like the "I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas" or something. You know?
Yeah, it really is.
It's just that much weirder, and
which I hate that song. If we can talk about Christmas music that we hate for a minute, that and Dominic the Italian Donkey can go get fucked. I hate both of those songs so much.
Oh, I was so tempted to make all 10 of my choices Dominic the Donkey.
Oh, dude, I would have been so mad. If that's your number one, the podcast is over. Just in case you're like, if you want to change something now, just fair warning.
Did not crack my list in any form. I don't mind the song. I think it's funny, but I had never heard it until pretty recently, actually. Like, I had never heard of it until Karen mentioned it to me once. I was like, "What the hell are you? What the hell are you on about? What
are you on about, woman? This is the hottest of garbage." I hate it so much. And if any of our listeners, if you're like, "Oh man, that's my favorite Christmas song," like, you should feel bad. You should feel bad that that's your favorite. I'm sorry. Examine your life choices. I'm just kidding. I love you, but I hate that song.
Yes, Adam Schlesinger is the name to look for. Listen to Fountains of Wayne. They're just a magnificent band. At least they were. And he died
spectacular.
Last year.
Yeah, taking COVID, 1st. Man. COVID. That was
just not cool, man.
God, do you know how many musicians I could think of that should have gone to COVID over Adam Schlesinger? That's not cool.
Most of them.
You know who shouldn't have, though, Chris?
Who's
my
that?
number 7. You see how I made that transition? That was good, right?
That was damn fine.
That was really good.
I've got my fingers crossed that one of these is going to be the Monarch singing a Christmas.
Nope, it isn't. Sorry, no. My number 7 has to be on here somewhere. It's one of the ones that Evan said had to be on here, and he was right. Even though his number 1 is completely and totally wrong. As he said, ours both were. No. That is just... Evan's number 1 is the favorite Christmas song of like an 87-year-old divorcee. It's not the right choice. I love him to pieces, but no.
You still here, Evan? You gonna defend yourself?
you got. I stand by what I said.
I'm just gonna weep here quietly to myself. That's fine. Okay.
I love you so much.
Yeah, no, but I could tell. I could tell by the kind words that you're spewing.
In like with an all white Christmas tree with like white lights and white ornaments. Fucking, it's the most yuppie shit.
My nana had the most beautiful silver tinsel Christmas tree that we used to shine lights on it, and it would sparkle. True story.
As you sat there listening to Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Whatever. I love you.
Love you.
It's all right. So my number 7 is a modern rendition of the traditional Santa Claus is Coming to Town. But like a good Jersey boy, Chris, this is the version done by Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band. It's a live performance. One of the things I love about this song so much is that if you listen to the entire track, there's a bit towards the end where he's just fucking laughing on stage, because like, this is a musician, this is just a group of friends performing a song for a crowd, and everybody is just having a really good time. And that's so rare in so much of the music that I listen to, especially, but just like kind of in the world. There's just this joy that is here in Bruce Springsteen's rendition of Santa Claus is Coming to Town. It's about 30 seconds that we have here, but you really should listen to the whole thing. Enjoy. I was just about to get to that saxophone solo that's in there. The piano that goes throughout this entire song is so good. His band has always been so incredible. And I really love that the "You Better Be Good for Goodness Sake" that's done in a very old school Beach Boys kind of way, because that's another song that's in that 11 to 15 range, that Beach Boys Little Saint Nick, because I adore that kind of stuff and the harmonies that they used to do. But man, I don't know how you feel about Bruce Springsteen, Chris. I don't remember you being a huge fan of the boss.
I got no positive or negative feelings. It's fine. Doesn't bother me.
He is someone who, as I have gotten older, my love and appreciation for his music has really, really grown. And man, I just love it now. And that is just one of my favorite versions of that song. And like I said, when it gets the beginning of the song starts off with him like asking the audience if they've been good, and like barely anybody responds, and he's like, "Oh, that's not many. Right? It's just really, there's so much joy in that particular version of the song.
That's a solid pick. For my money, if I'm going Santa Claus is Coming to Town, I'm going Jackson 5.
Oh, but, sure. I love that version too, man. I am a big Jackson 5 fan. Right? Like, just kind of across the board. Like, me and Kevin Smith, like, as soon as that came on in Clerks 2, I was like, this guy fucking gets it.
Yeah. But
and he can get it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. This is a solid pick. I like it.
Thank you.
No, you're welcome.
All right, what you got? What you got for number 6, Chris?
Okay, I have absolutely no idea where or when I first heard this song, because it's a pretty old one, but damn if it isn't just one of the best Christmas songs ever. We are talking about "What Christmas Means to Me" by Stevie Wonder.
Oh, it's good stuff.
Yeah, I don't have here's the thing, most of the songs that are on here have some very specific connection to me and like my musical tastes, and like this is here because of this, and this is just like,
right,
this has no sentimental attachment to me. It's just, this song is just that good. It shoots all the way up to number 6 because it is just that freaking good, and it's a song that everybody's heard, but you just can't get enough of it. So here is Stevie Wonder, "What Christmas Means to Me." Enjoy.
Oh yeah, candles burning low, lots of mistletoe, lots of snow and ice everywhere we go. Choir singing carols right outside my door. All these things and more. Oh, that's what Christmas means to me, my love. Oh, yeah. And you know what I mean.
I had to start it from the very beginning, because the way this song starts is just
It's good, man.
Trying to pick a clip, and like I couldn't do anything except the beginning. I had to start it from scratch, because it's just it sets up the rhythm so perfectly. That bass line, just that whole riff, the boom, 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 boom. It is so good, so
and fucking good.
The little jingly bells in there just kind of give it that wonderful wintry Christmas spirit. It's impossible to not move something while listening to this tune. It's just freaking good.
I am so glad that this is not a video podcast that we do, because I look like a fucking jackass this entire time. I'm just sitting in here in my office, just fucking bopping around and whatnot. I do have to, if I'm being honest, I would put CeeLo Green's version of this over Stevie Wonder's, and I know that that's sacrilege to a lot of people, but CeeLo's version of this just hits me in the geek part of my heart as well. I
don't know that I've ever heard it before. But
I will goodness, it's good.
So,
I mean, CeeLo, CeeLo from like, yes. If you could. From Aqua Teen, right? The geek, because it was it Aqua Teen or no? It was The
No.
Brack Show.
Aqua Teen was MC Kris.
Yeah, no, the Brack Show when he comes down and is rapping against him. It's good stuff. Anyway, fucking CeeLo's version of no, you're absolutely right. There's something really, really special, and a song on my list, we'll get to that pretty soon here. About that 70s kind of Motown funk Christmas music that is just so spectacular.
Could not possibly agree more. It's just got a really good feel to it. Song brings me nothing but joy.
All right. Well, for my number 6, I have one of the artists that I am just absolutely gutted that I will never get to see live. And this is a song that a Christmas song from an artist I really love and respect that I had no idea existed until a couple of years ago. And there's really not any big like meaning in this song. It's just a really solid version of what this guy does, but a Christmas song, right? And that would be and I don't know if you're a big fan of this guy or not, but this would be Christmas All Over Again by Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
Oh yeah, I forgot all about this song. I love Tom Petty.
I did not know about this song legitimately until like 2 or 3 years ago, and it just blasted its way up my own personal charts of like favorite Christmas songs. I believe that Tom Petty's Wildflowers record is one of the most perfect records ever recorded. Just from that very first track, Wildflowers, it's this very stripped down, really honest and raw version of Tom Petty. It was no longer the MTV You Don't Know How It Feels, the weird, what the fuck was the Alice in Wonderland video? I'm drawing a blank now.
Don't Come Around Here No More.
Don't Come Around Here No More. Like it went away from that to the more stripped down, You Don't Know How It Feels, Wildflowers kind of Last Dance with Mary Jane stuff, which still, yes, I remember had the big MTV presence in the video, but not that like there was just it was a very, very different Tom Petty at this point. And this Christmas song is just really, really good. It's a really solid Tom Petty song that also happens to be a Christmas song. It is Christmas All Over Again by Tom Petty. Enjoy.
Well, it's Christmas time again. Decorations are on by the fire. Everybody's singing, all the bells are ringing out, and it's Christmas all over again.
Wow, good pick. I haven't heard that in ages.
Oh, it's so good. I love the traditional Christmas bells that are there, kind of like they're almost buried in the chorus, but they hit so perfectly. And man, like I said, Tom Petty's one of those guys that I'm absolutely gutted that I will never get to see live.
Yeah, I get
that. I don't care that I never saw Nirvana live. Like I don't care. You know what I mean? I don't care that I never got to see, well, I care a little bit about the Doors. But like of like the seminal artists who I could have seen and didn't, Tom Petty and Johnny Cash are like the two that are at the top of my list of just, man, just never going to get that opportunity back.
Yeah,
breaks my heart. Yeah, the guy was so fucking talented, and that song is so great. If you've never heard that whole song all the way through, that's basically it. I mean, it is a Tom Petty song, but it's just it's joyful, it's happy. It's cheeky in the way that a lot of Tom Petty's stuff was. It's really, really great.
Nice. Yeah, that's a good song. I really just kind of forgot that song existed for some reason. So, thanks for bringing that back into my life.
I'm here for you.
You are. All right, well, we're into the top 5 now, right?
We are indeed.
All right, so here is my number 5. This one is... Let's see, how do I even describe this one? So, one of my absolute favorite bands, up there with Fountains of Wayne, is Guster. I've been a very big Guster fan for as long as I've known of them, which was around when they released Lost and Gone Forever. And I haven't really liked their last 2 albums all that much, but really I'll never not buy their albums because every album before that I absolutely adore. The lead singer of Guster, Ryan Miller, if there was ever a single person whose voice I've ever been jealous of, like I wish I could sing like him, it's Ryan Miller. I love the way this guy sings, and I love the way he harmonizes. And this song in particular, it has some really, really great harmonies in it. This is, I had never heard the original version before, yet I kind of assumed it was a cover because the lyrics are very not specifically Guster. This song is called Donde Está Santa Claus?
Oh, I love this song.
So I am completely unfamiliar with the original version, but this version that Guster did is just magnificent. And I heard it in the hardware store the other day, which was like, wow,
that's awesome.
All right, because I've been listening to this for years, and like I didn't know anybody else who even knew it existed. But hey, now it's out there in the world, so I don't know. I freaking love this song. So here is Donde Está Santa Claus, as performed by Guster, and it's my number 5. There it is. Sorry, I'm finding the exact clip. I was on the wrong screen. All right, here we go. Enjoy.
I know that I should be sleeping, but maybe he's not far away. So out of the window I'm peeping, hoping to see him in his sleigh. I hope he won't forget to pack his castanets and to his reindeer set. On Poncho, on Pedro, Mamacita, ¿dónde está Santa Claus? Oh, where is Santa Claus? It's Christmas Eve. I know that I should be.
I mean, I'm really sad that the version of that song that I am most familiar with was a cover that Charo did.
Oh God!
Yeah, like way back in the day. Like, oh man, and I love that version of the song too. Guster's version is a little better than Charo's. Have you ever heard the original song?
I have recently.
Okay,
when I was like, all right, I gotta find out. It's the 1958 original.
Yeah, it's sung by like a little kid in the tradition of like, I want a hippopotamus for Christmas, that kind of thing. It was like a novelty, like, wow, let's put out a fun Christmas song. But like back in 58, which is absurd. Yeah, that song's fucking fun.
Yeah, it is. I just absolutely love this version of this song so much. Brings me bottomless joy. And I'm pretty sure everyone in Guster is Jewish too, so.
Which is even better.
I remember on their old website, they had an FAQ. And like one of the questions was, "Are you a Christian band?" And their response was, "If you've ever seen the profile of any of our faces, you should know the answer to that question."
That's fabulous. What a good answer. What a good answer to that question.
Great band. And I love it when my favorite bands do Christmas songs, especially when they do them as well as Guster and Fountains of Wayne and Bit Shifter. Like,
yeah, that's awesome.
Delightful.
Speaking of, completely off topic, but did you know, like, I think tickets just went on sale and Tiff didn't seem to be going for it, but maybe you and me can go on a date. G-Love, Dispatch, and OAR are playing at the PNC Bank Arts Center in like August of next year.
I saw Dispatch and OAR were going. I didn't know G-Love was involved.
Yeah, G-Love's opening.
Goodness,
and I was like,
me.
I was like, you want to go, hon? And she was like, fucking no. Not even a little bit. It's like, fine. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. When we get closer to August, we'll see if there's still tickets, and I'll take you on a date.
That would be lovely. I've
I haven't seen live music too long.
Might have been the last band I saw. I went to see Dispatch. Actually toured with Guster.
Yeah,
not that long ago, and me and my friend Paul went to go see them, and that was pretty great.
Oh, did you see that? Everybody heard that, right? He's admitting to cheating on me, like here on the podcast. It's fine. It's fine. It's whatever. I don't care.
Dispatch is one of my favorite bands. I don't know that I want to see them currently because Pete's not with them anymore.
Sure.
And that's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I imagine it's still going to be a really good show, though.
A little bit about
it's
their
really good.
Album. I freaking love it. I actually bought it on vinyl because I liked it that much. It really, really grew on me. Just really, really like that album. So,
and you're that guy now. You're fucking Ben Stiller from fucking a High Fidelity, or not High Fidelity, whatever the fucking. See $20 bill on weed? You ever listen to vinyl? Like, you're that guy. Anyway, that really doesn't work. My number 5, Chris, I don't think it could be any more different than yours. I'm just going to ignore what I tried to do there. It didn't work at all, so I'm just going to jump right into this. Your Donde Está Santa Claus from 1958. It's a beautiful little song, novelty Christmas song sung by a small child. Isn't this great? Won't this be wonderful? My number 5 is a song that originally came out in 1977. It is about a department store Santa Claus who is beaten up by a group of wandering thugs, right? This young group of kids beat the crap out of this Santa Claus, and they want his money and jobs for their parents, and they want all the rich kids to get toys.
This is my dad's favorite Christmas song.
It's so great. It's Father Christmas. It's pick. By the Kinks.
What a pick. Good job.
I fucking love this song. I love the... Man, I love the message behind it, you know, like, because Christmas for so many people is like... It's my favorite time of year. I love it so, so very much. You know, I love the way my house looks. I love the lights. I love going out shopping for things. I love all of it. And for so many people, it's like the worst possible fucking time of year. Right? It's just awful. Like, it's hard and it's depressing and it's sad because you're broke and there's all this pressure and all of these things. And I love that there is a song that so perfectly captures that feeling of Christmas as well. And it's just a really rockin' song as well. Like, I'm not a big fan of the Kinks. This is by far like their most punk song. And, you know, when I was going through my, like, I'm a punk rocker phase, whatever, like, this is what I gravitated towards at Christmas time. And it's great. Father Christmas by the Kinks, originally released in 1977. Here you go.
The last time I played Father Christmas, I stood outside a department store. A gang of kids came over and mugged me and knocked my reindeer to the floor. He said, Father Christmas, give us some money. Don't mess around with those silly toys. We'll beat you up if you don't hand it over. We want your bread, so don't make us annoyed. Give all the toys to the little rich boy.
Yeah, that's such a good song.
It's so good. The imagery in that song, like, you just sit and let it wash over you. Like, a gang of kids came up and mugged me and knocked over my reindeer. It's awful and sad and fucking great. I fucking love it. I love it so much.
Yeah, that's
I love that is your dad's favorite Christmas song.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That song cracks him up.
That's a great song, man. Love it.
Yeah, nice job. Nice pick. Well done.
I hope the listeners are having a good time, because I got to be honest with you, Chris. I am having a blasty.
I am too. This is great. This is exactly what I was I was looking forward to all
What
week
a
long.
good idea I had. Man, you're lucky to know me. All of you, I'll tell you.
Nothing but good ideas out of this guy right now.
Non-stop good idea machine.
All right. Well, I guess allow me to take things down a few notches here to just a song that I find relentlessly beautiful and I know almost nothing about.
Oh.
My notes here say I don't know shit about the band Snow Patrol.
Yeah, I mean, you're not a big indie guy, so
I don't know anything about them.
They had a couple big hits.
I've heard of them. Like,
yeah,
I'm sure I've heard them mentioned. I have no idea how I found this song in the first place or how long I've known it exists. All I know is that every time I hear it for the first time each year, it really feels like Christmas. This is a stunningly gorgeous song. It's called When I Get Home for Christmas. It's by Snow Patrol. It's not a super fun song. It's just a really, really pretty song that it makes me feel that that Christmas feeling of it's cold, but I'm warm.
Right.
And like one of my favorite things to do around this time of year is before I go to bed at night, sometimes I'll just sit on the couch, turn off all the lights, and just look at the Christmas tree.
Yeah,
because
I do that constantly.
I have a decent amount of what I would consider movement in my Christmas lights. Where like we grew up with my dad's favorite lights were bubble lights, and they were mine too. I just love bubble lights. The little
sure,
little stick of liquid that heats up and little bubbles go in them. And then when I was working at the comic book store with Evan, actually in North Jersey, we did a window display, and I bought these Christmas lights from the local, I don't remember which shop it was, Rite Aid or something like that. And they have this very slow fade in and fade out color change thing on them. And wrapping the tree in that, the combination of that and the bubble lights is this like just very subtle movement that keeps so that nothing is stagnant ever on the tree. It looks like it is, but there's just this subtle movement to it. And this song reminds me of the feeling of it being dark, looking at a Christmas tree. It's cold, but I'm warm. And it is just a stunningly beautiful piece of music. So here is my snippet from When I Get Home for Christmas by Snow Patrol. Enjoy.
Make as much noise as you like. When I said that I loved her instead, it's funny how you misunderstand. I'm the one who holds her hand. You're so far from me all year long. I can't seem to wrap my
I don't really have a whole lot more to say about it. It's weird because it's so high on my list and I don't have a ton to say about it. It's just one of those songs.
It just hits you.
It just hits me. It just hits me every time I hear it. I love it.
It what I've always liked about Snow Patrol, and this is kind of a weird backhanded compliment, I suppose, to give them, is the lead singer has always reminded me of Jonah Matrenga from Far, which was like a post-hardcore band. I don't know if that's the right terminology. I've stopped caring about that kind of shit so long ago what the proper classification is for things. But Jonah Matrenga is the lead singer and guitar player in a group called Far. He's also the lead singer and guitar player in a group called Graduate. And then he's put out a bunch of records on his own. And he's got this real ethereal quality to his voice that it almost in the right setting sounds somewhat otherworldly. And the lead singer of Snow Patrol also has that same kind of ethereal alien-like quality to his voice where it just doesn't seem like it should be coming out of someone, up on stage with a bunch of guitars and lights and all of those things all of the trappings of a stage performance. And then you hear this voice and it's just strange and different and weird in all of the best ways, and that is an absolutely beautiful song. And shocking, because Snow Patrol is not really your jam. Like, knowing what I know of the music that you really, really love, like, I feel like It's Fine is the best description you would have for most of their music.
To be fair, I don't think I could pick another song of theirs out of a hat. I don't even
Sure.
know. Maybe they are my jam. I haven't really
They
listened
might
to
be.
them, but this song in particular,
That's good
just
stuff,
hits me.
man.
It's good stuff.
Well, again, allow me to take it in the complete opposite direction. We featured one Beatle earlier on this countdown with John Lennon, and now we are going to go with a different Beatle and just the complete opposite of John Lennon and Mr. Paul McCartney with Wonderful Christmas Time.
Oh, God.
I know. Whatever. Fuck you. This song is terrible. It is commercialized mainstream bullshit of the highest degree. There is very little creativity in the lyrics. It's mostly just simply having a wonderful Christmas time over and over and over again. It is so 80s. It is so just terrible, like I said. However, where it racks up a special place for me is two things. One, it is the unbridled cheesy joy that is Christmas. This is the equivalent of everybody having an ugly sweater party. This is the equivalent of, like, you know what would be fun if we put marshmallows in our hot chocolate? Wouldn't that be so fun? Like, that's what this song is. And I love that about it. And I also love, and this is kind of a weird, like, personal thing to me, but before my dad passed away when I was 14, and he and my mother had split up when I was 3, and every Christmas I spent with my mom and my stepdad, and that was the way it was up until I was 13 years old. And for that year, I spent Christmas with my dad. It's the only Christmas that I ever spent with him. He died in February of the next year, right? So 2 months later. It was heartbreaking and tragic and all of those terrible, terrible things. But I woke up and I spent Christmas morning with my dad and my stepmom, and it was, wonderful and different. And my step-grandparents, all of whom are gone now, right? Like, all of them are. My stepmother passed away a few years ago. My dad passed away when I was 13. My step-grandpa, like, all of this, horrible, sad stuff on that side of the family. And I remember my Aunt Sandy came to pick me up from my dad's house and drive me back home for the big, Christmas dinner at my mom's house. I spent Christmas morning with my dad, was spending Christmas Eve, or not Christmas Eve, but Christmas evening with my mom and the rest of that side of the family. And as we were driving home, my dad really went all out that year and got just big, elaborate presents that, he spent way more money than he probably should have. And my Aunt Sandy had a Dodge Stealth at the time. And I don't know if you remember what a Dodge Stealth was, but it was a little sports car that had no trunk space and no room for anything. So I'm sitting on the New Jersey Turnpike with all of these presents, like, mashed around me, and she can't fucking see. And there's traffic because it's Christmas and all this stuff is going on. And she was like, I really hope that the Paul McCartney Wonderful Christmas Time song comes on. And I was like, what in the bluest of hells are you talking about? Because as a 13-year-old punk rock kid, I wouldn't be caught dead listening to Paul McCartney, right? It was all John Lennon. And she was like, you've never heard that? How have you never heard this song? It's crazy. It's traditional. It's blah, blah, blah. It's Christmas. It's the Beatles, whatever. And we were listening to what was at the time Z100 out of New York, which became Y100 in Philadelphia as you drove down the turnpike. And the song came on, and she belted it at the top of her lungs the entire time that it was on, and I just giggled my tits off the entire drive home. And it's Wonderful Christmas Time by Paul McCartney. It's cheesy, bubbly bullshit, and I love it. Enjoy.
The mood is right, the spirit's up, we're here tonight, and that's enough. Simply having a wonderful Christmas time. Simply having a wonderful Christmas time. The party's on, the feeling's here, that only comes.
It's so bad.
You fuck are making fun of me for Trans-Siberian Orchestra?
I love it so much.
Really? That. Okay. All right.
It's garbage.
Yeah,
and I love it.
I'm sorry.
No, I get it.
I don't mean to. I'm not out to shit on your cereal or anything, but
No,
I do not care for that song at all.
It's a terrible song. And if my aunt, who had I did, and this is one of the weird things about getting older, right? You know, we just celebrated my aunt Sandy's. She hates when I fucking say it that way. She's like, stop fucking talking like that. Which is why I do it even when she's not around. We just celebrated my Aunt Sandy's 64th birthday. So thinking back to, 30 years ago, like, I didn't realize that my aunt at the time was only 34 years old. She was an old lady when I was a kid, because of course she was, but she's younger than I am now, driving her nephew down the turnpike, just belting this song at the top of her lungs. It was fucking great. It was great.
That is a fantastic memory. I am glad that this song brings you joy. I am not a fan. Karen has reviles this song. She's just like, get this shit off of my radio, because we listen to the all 24-hour Christmas station a lot in the house, but this one plays a lot on there, and every time
of course it does.
She's just like, man, fuck this song.
This is one of those songs that you either love or hate. I don't think there's any. It's fine with this song. I really don't. I could be wrong.
I do like the sentiment of the lyrics, which, clearly very little effort was put in, but I do like the sentiment of the lyrics. It's just, everything just seems like such a haphazard. I'm not gonna do it, because it's Christmas. If you don't have nice things to say, let's not say them.
Yeah, I feel like I trashed it enough and still put it at number 4 on my list. So it's all good.
Well, all
right.
Well, the top 3, huh?
Yeah, we're into the big ones now.
Yeah. Do you So I put together a little list of my almost made it's. Do you want to do that before the top 3?
Yes, I couldn't put together this list, one, because I didn't take the time to learn a new editing program, and 2, I would have put together a 20-minute track.
Nice.
Of here's all the songs that I wished I could have put on this top 10 list.
So this is 2 minutes and 12 seconds long. It's just a handful of other songs, Christmas songs, that are just really, really just barely didn't crack the top 10 for me. And I'm sure there's others out there that I'm missing as well. But I'm not even going to intro them, because I don't even remember which ones I put in here, to be perfectly honest with you. So
let's do it.
Let's do it. Here's my quick playthrough of my almost picks. Enjoy.
You start. Okay. On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a beer.
Jingle burgers, come this Christmas Eve. If you're very
You better not hit a pear tree on the 9th, on the 8th, on the 7th. The halls with clouds on holly. Here we come, the whistling among the lanes of five golden rings.
Open up your heart and let the Patrick Swayze Christmas in.
We'll gather at the roadhouse with our next of kin.
And Santa can be our regular Saturday night thing.
We'll decorate a bar stool and gather round and sing. Oh, let's have a Patrick Swayze Christmas this year.
Or we'll tear your throat out and kick you in the ear.
Hold it a second, Cambot, stop it. Crow, I don't know if I think this is an appropriate sentiment anymore for Christmas.
Hey, what? Like a good action sequence don't belong at Christmas?
That is so different from what my almost picks were. Man, my almost picks were things like fucking Christmas Time in Hollis, Queens by Run DMC, which
I'm shocked to hear that isn't even in your top 3.
That would have
your list.
That was number 11. It's number 11.
Nice.
And I really waffled back and forth between Run DMC and Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton. Which I think, if we could understand what that means for humanity, that would, I think, lead us to a greater understanding of things, just kind of in general. But yeah, that's number 11 for me.
It's a great chiptune rendition of "Baby Please Come Home."
That was awesome.
That song. That's a really great version of that. It was Christmas Nights into Dreams. Just one of my favorite things to do every year is play the first level or two of that wonderful Christmas themed version of Nights.
Yeah, it's a fun game, man.
The John Williams sleigh ride where he goes into that marching band bit there is pretty cool. The what's that that acapella one where they keep going in and out of all the different Christmas songs and eventually sing the end of 12 Days of Christmas as what's the friggin' Bless the Rains in Africa song? I can't remember the name of it now. Whatever.
Toto.
The Toto song, yeah. And of course, Patrick Swayze Christmas from Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Absolutely.
Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. Good times.
I missed, so Christmas Time in Hollis would have been number 11. Somewhere in there would have been Santa Baby, but the Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats version, where the roles are reversed, where the woman is Lech and Nathaniel Rateliff is just talking about trying to get the fuck out of there. Step Into Christmas from Elton John. Really, really excellent Christmas song. Merry Christmas, I Don't Want to Fight Tonight from the Ramones.
Oh, that's a good one.
Christmas Dinner by Tennessee Ernie Ford, which is just this terrible old school country song. It's garbage. Everybody's Waiting for the Man with the Bag. That K-Star song, old school, is really, really good. One More Sleep Till Christmas. I fucking love that.
Yeah. Muppet Christmas. That's such a good song. That one in there, like I said before, that and there's a song from Mr. Magoo's Christmas Carol that just melts me every time, but I can't separate it from the movie, so it doesn't quite make the list.
I mean, Little Saint Nick from the Beach Boys, Oi to the World from the Vandals,
we were just listening to that the other day.
Or the Gwen Stefani version is pretty great too. Mm-hmm. Man, and then there's this other song that is a cheesy song, but it came up. It's called "All My Christmases" from Gillian Edwards, and I have never heard another song from Gillian Edwards because I imagine I would hate all of them with a fiery passion. But as this song came up on a playlist, we were talking about, because my daughter Katie adores Christmas. Penny has decided that she is going to be a gremlin and hate Christmas, except for the presents part. But she's going to be the Halloween kid, and Katie's going to be the Christmas kid. And we talked about Katie wanting to get married around Christmas time, and her sister learning how to sing this song that could be played at her wedding. and I fucking tear up at the very thought of it. I can't even. If that ever happens, I will be more of an emotional wreck than anybody else could possibly be at a wedding, I think, ever. It's just a wonderful, wonderful song about a boy and a girl getting married 3 days after Christmas, and how all of their Christmases are going to be together from then on. And it's really, really great.
Well, I think there's no better time to make a huge fucking left turn.
I can't wait. So now we're into full songs.
Full songs. All right. And I can't believe this is the one that landed here in the full song territory, but here we are. So I love Lemmings.
I was wondering where this was going to be. I knew it had to be on here somewhere.
My first introduction to Lemmings, the game, was on Super Nintendo, and one of my favorite things about that game was its music, specifically the Super NES renditions of Tim Wright. There is Tim Wright's original compositions for Lemmings, which are just magnificent. And yes, Lemmings is a very silly game, but the music in that it touches my heart in a very specific way. So I loved the Super Nintendo version because we didn't really have a family PC, and then eventually I got one. And I think my dad actually came home with a disc from work from one of his people that he worked with that had a couple of demos on it, and one of them was Christmas Lemmings. And I was like, oh my goodness, it's new Lemmings levels that are themed after Christmas. I can't wait to try this. So I popped it in, and it starts playing this music, and it's Jingle Bells. But one of the fun things, besides the original pieces that Tim Wright did for Lemmings, was that he took a bunch of like classical themes, and he like Lemmingsed them up. Like, he had this very unique style to them. And I could not stop smiling at this rendition of Jingle Bells from Christmas Lemmings. And it is an absolute tradition that every year I play Christmas Lemmings. And thankfully it's gotten super easy with the you can just play it on the Internet Archive now, no problem at all. It's just backed up on the internet to play in browser, so hooray for that. I don't have to worry about it emulating or anything. And it's just like, I think it's the 1991, specifically the 1991 Xmas Lemmings. It is an irreplaceable part of Christmas for me. And I know that is a completely ridiculous thing, and this rendition of Jingle Bells, it is not a top 3 song.
For anyone else.
Top 3 Christmas song, period. But damn if it doesn't bring me unreasonable amounts of joy every time I hear it. So enjoy 2 minutes and 22 seconds of sweet MS-DOS music from Christmas Lemmings.
Jesus.
Enjoy. So you listen to the first chunk of it, right? And it's just like, I don't know, it's Jingle Bells coming out of Sound Blaster 16 or whatever. And then it picks up with that drum beat, and it's
man, that is something. That's something.
It's so good, that bass line. Adding it's far and away my favorite rendition of Jingle Bells. It's just my favorite. That the bass line is so clever. It's taking something that it changes the cadence of the song just entirely into something that's very straightforward 4/4, and then it just adds this very basic drum beat, but then you get that high notes complementing the main melody so much, and that bass line is so freaking clever. It's so good. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it's this specific flavor of this that would always bring me joy, but I would love to hear somebody actually perform this version of Jingle Bells on proper instruments, because it is such a well put together a rendition of this song. It adds wonderful pretty notes to it and everything, with the right towards the beginning where you get like the kind of like, you know, smooth chorus sounds going, just kind of like little like synthy strings going on, until it becomes this just fun little boppy piece of music that just the whole time. I mean, I shit you not, I have little bits of mist in my eyes. I just sat back, cranked up the volume, and just smiled for 2 minutes and 22 seconds, because this song is just, it's Christmas freaking joy to me. And I haven't played it yet this year. It's on my list of things to do probably this week, but damn if it doesn't make me as happy as a kid on Christmas.
Well, that's all that matters. I mean, again, my number 3, I don't know, could be any more different than that, because I don't know that there's anything that I could have picked that would have been like, oh, so this is a very similar through line to this next song.
Here's how we're going to transition from Christmas Lemmings for MS-DOS.
Yeah. So in 1979, Kris, hip-hop was a burgeoning musical genre, right? And there was a lot of crossover with hip-hop and punk and new wave. And in 1979, a dude by the name of Curtis Blow, which I don't know if you're very familiar with Mr. Blow, but he put out a song called Christmas Rappin', which is pretty great. That's not the song that I'm picking here, though, but it does tie into this, because 2 years later, in 1981,
I was born.
Yes, which is very exciting. But also a bunch of artists that were signed to ZE Records were asked to create and or record a Christmas song for a compilation record that they were going to put out, called, quite simply, a Christmas record. Now, the writer of this song was in the middle of what he described as a very difficult tour, and hated the fact that they were asked to write this song, especially because this was a band that was in and around the New York new wave scene a lot at the time, and hated the hustle and bustle of what New York is. A very, very special place at Christmas, but it's also a fucking insane asylum. Like, you've spent holidays in New York City, as have I. It is absurd. It's like nothing else.
For a number of years, yeah.
This is what I'm saying. Like, it's like nothing else on the planet. This song in particular is so specific to the Northeast, but the Northeast, not like South Jersey and Philly, but New York, and North Jersey. And what I love about this song is that this is another song that perfectly captures that hopelessness, desperation, I'm over it, I'm sick of it, and marries it with the hope of the Christmas season. I went with the single version because the single version is 4 minutes and 30 seconds as opposed to the album version, which is 5 minutes and 40 seconds. So I cut out a minute for you. But we are going to listen to one of just my absolute favorite Christmas songs by a band that I don't like any other songs from, which is also true of my number one. And that would be the not Christmas Rappin', but by Curtis Blow, but the Christmas Rapping by new wave band The Waitresses. Enjoy.
Those trees, raise up cups of Christmas cheer. I just need to catch my breath. Christmas by myself this year. Count the picture, frozen landscape, chill this room for 24 days. Evergreen, sparkling snow, get this winter over with. Flashback to springtime, saw him again. Would have been good to go for lunch. Couldn't agree, we're both free. We tried, we said we'd keep in touch. Didn't, of course, till summertime. Out to the beach to his boat, could I join him? No, this time it was me. Sunburn in the 3rd degree. Now the calendar's just one page. Of course I am excited. Tonight's the night I've set my mind not to do too much about it.
spectacular pick, sir.
Oh my god! Is there
Love
anything?
that song?
Is there anything more New York, North Jersey than the A&P has provided me with the world's smallest turkey? God, and I just love it so much. This idea that your entire year it's this failed connection, trying to go back and forth, and I'm just going to be pissed off, and I'm going to be alone for the holidays, and God damn it, and I'm doing Christmas right this year. I'm going to be by myself. I'm fine. I'm good. Leave me alone. I'm fine. And then you meet that person because you both forgot cranberry sauce because you're both alone on Christmas. And it's just this wonderful, happy ending. God, I love that song. I love the horns in that song so much.
That part where it does the breakdown, and actually it reminds me that there's a cover of this. Save Ferris,
yes,
does a pretty cool cover of this. I don't think it's quite as good as the original, but they have a really cool like extra snare hit thrown in during that trumpet part, which is so freaking good.
It's so
good. And really, I am a sucker for a good bass line. It's just if you've got a good bass line in your song, then I mean, you just heard me wax on and on about freaking bass line and Christmas Lemmings, for crying out loud. This also has just a killer bass line the whole time. You just focus on that. Just
taking the bass line for a walk, man. It is outstanding.
It is.
I love this
wonderfully
song.
Done. Yeah, fantastic pick.
love this song. Do not like another song by the Waitresses. I know What Boys Like is okay. I'm not big into like 80s new wave stuff. You know, I don't think I can name another song apart from I Know What Boys Like.
I don't think I could either. But I find it fascinating, like this one in particular, like this is so the opposite side of the same exact coin as that Paul McCartney song I don't like.
Yes.
Like, this is how you do that right, as far as I'm concerned. Because like
that's why it's higher on the list.
I understand your nostalgic connection and your the emotional connection to the Paul McCartney song. I just don't like that song. This one though, is just, I mean, it's still dripping with that 80s sensibility, but at the same time, it is just a magnificently fun song. It's so good.
I'm so happy you enjoyed it. I really am, because this is, again, I think one of those songs where you're like, I don't know. You know, it's either, yes, that was great, or not for me.
Well, no, it's definitely for me. Love this song. Probably would have made my, probably should have been thrown into my my didn't quite make it list, because it's on my regular Christmas playlist. It's a darn good song.
I love it.
Good
love
pick.
it to pieces. Thank you.
All right.
All right. What you got for number 2?
Okay. Now this is a song that
it's getting
I can
sexy.
Just
Very
about
excited.
Guarantee none of the audience has heard, and I don't think either you or Evan have heard this either.
Oh, I'm so excited. Well, Evan has, because I think he listened to all of ours, but but that doesn't count, I don't think.
All right. So a long time ago, in a previous life, I was in a rock and roll band called Chocolat, and it was some of the most fun I've ever had in my entire life. We went on tour. We went down to South by Southwest and played on a street with a power inverter on our car battery so that we could use our amps and stuff. I was the drummer, and lead singer was this guy named Michael P. and his now wife Haley. We made some fantastically fun music. I loved being in this band so very much. So Michael and Haley lived in New York, and they were young, struggling artists in New York. Haley's a photographer. Michael was trying to make it as a musician. And one year, they obviously had no money. So for Christmas presents for the people that they cared for, they gave music. And this, I have a 2 and a 2A because they gave me 2 songs for Christmas. And it is the 2 of them covering Chocolat style. These 2 songs, Blue Christmas and Holly Jolly Christmas, and they're tied for my number 2 because they're inextricably linked to one another. I love them both for the same reasons, because they were given to me as a Christmas present, and they're both just absolutely magnificent. And I threw a clip of, since we're only doing one, I threw a clip of Holly Jolly Christmas in there that we could listen to. But the one that I really wanted to put forth, because I thought that maybe you guys would enjoy it a little bit more, you in particular, Dan, is their rendition of Blue Christmas. Because it just falls apart at the end in the most hilarious of ways. It's just magnificent. So let's do a quick Holly Jolly Christmas as performed by Chocolat to give you kind of a feeling for, let's say, the kind of music that we made in Chocolat. So here is my, let's say, number 2A, Holly Jolly Christmas as performed by Michael P. and his wife Haley.
Oh, mistletoe, I'm ready to see. Somebody waits for you, just once for me. Have a holly jolly Christmas, and in case you didn't hear, oh my golly, have a holly jolly Christmas this year.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
It's so much fun, and they just recorded these in their apartment by themselves and gave them out as Christmas presents, and it's one of the best gifts I've ever gotten, and they just fill me with joy. So let's listen to my proper number 2, Michael and Haley's rendition of Blue Christmas, my number 2 favorite Christmas song ever, not just for its sentimental value, but because this is a really fun rendition of this song. Enjoy.
I'll have a blue Christmas without you, and I'll be so blue thinking about you. Decorations of red on a green Christmas tree won't mean a thing if you're not here with me, and I'll have a blue Christmas, that's certain. And when that blue heartache starts hurting, you'll be doing alright with your Christmas white. But I'll have a blue, 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 blue Christmas. Baby, I'm only so blue. And you, I don't know what color you're gonna be, because I'm not gonna be there to see it. And that's the truth, baby. I'll have a blue fucking Christmas without you. I'll be so blue fucking thinking about you. Decorations of red on a fucking Christmas tree don't mean a thing if you're not here with me. I'll have a fucking blue fucking Christmas with certain. I'm turning the blue fucking such goddamn hurting fucking hurts. Be doing alright with your Christmas of white. But I'll have a blue fucking Christmas. I'll have a blue, 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 blue Christmas.
See, now, normally I would say that putting a song that was gifted to you by a member of a band that you were in on your top 10 list is one of the most pretentious things I've ever heard of. However, it's so damn good.
It makes me so happy.
Yeah, that was great. That was great.
At the end where they're just have a blue fucking Christmas.
Man,
I mean, you want to talk about Christmas songs that make you feel like Christmas in New York. This reminds me of my Christmas in New York, because we're just poor as shit living in these shitty apartments.
Yep.
And but we're happy, and
it's all that matters.
That's all that matters. And this song brings me just bottomless joy. It's so much fun, and I can tell Michael and Haley had so much fun doing it, and they are
that was outstanding.
Yeah.
Absolutely outstanding.
Love this song. Happy to share it with everybody.
All right, well, my number 2 was not a song that was gifted to me as such, not directly. When I first moved to Florida to begin my career, I ended up working with a lady named Patrice Bonner. And Miss Bonner, as we have all called her and will continue to call her, because she's that type of lady. She deserves that sort of respect where you don't call her Patrice, ever. She is Miss Bonner. She has been, since I met her as a young professional, kind of my barometer. Right? Like, if I post some bullshit on Facebook and Miss Bonner likes it, then I know I'm on the right track. You know what I mean? That kind of person in my life. And she taught me quite a bit, and continues to teach me quite a bit about things that, as an upper middle class white kid, I just had no experience with. Things about equity and equality and justice and injustice and all of those different things. And to, she's a guidepost for me. And I remember walking into her office one day around the holidays, and I heard this song, and it floored me. I had never heard it before. Again, I grew up, on the old school Burl Ives, old school Christmas, or the Kenny Rogers, Dolly Parton stuff. And here I was walking into this black woman's office, hearing a black Christmas song, I think probably for the first time. I was like 23, 24, something like that. And it absolutely floored me. And I have adored this song since that time. I find it to be one of the most joyful, loving Christmas songs ever. It's one of those songs that when it comes on my playlist in the car, my kids and my wife get very upset because Dad's about to get real loud because I cannot sing this song quietly. It also brought me no small amount of joy that I saw that this was also on Ferg's list. He is absolutely right. The music video that they released with this song is wonderful. It's great. Everybody should check it out after you listen to this version here. And that would be This Christmas by Donny Hathaway, originally released in 1970. Here you go.
Hang all the mistletoe, I'm gonna get to know you better this Christmas. And as we trim the tree, how much fun it's gonna be together this Christmas. The fireside is blazing bright, we're caroling through the night. This Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me. Presents and cards are here, my world is filled with cheer and you. Christmas. And as I look around, your eyes outshine the town they do. This Christmas, the fireside is blazing bright. We're caroling through the night, and this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me. Yeah. Shake a hand now. Bright. We're caroling through the night, and this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me. Yeah. Merry Christmas. Shake a hand now. Your brother, Merry Christmas, all over the land now. Yeah. Merry Christmas. Merry, Merry Christmas.
A spectacular pick. This was actually one of Karen's choices. When I was going over my list with her, I was like, what am I forgetting? And she mentioned this one.
Song just kicks my ass, man. It's such a great song. Again, the horns in that song are outstanding. One of my favorite things about this song is how much the piano, the specific tone of the piano on this recording, is so similar to the tone of the piano on the Charlie Brown Christmas special. Yeah. It's so similar. And it's got that same kind of jangly, jazzy kind of thing going on there. I just absolutely love this song. CeeLo Green also did a very good version of this as well. Not as good as Donny Hathaway's, I don't think, but this is my number 2. And like I said, my 1, 2, and 3 have been solid for years. There's no question. But there's one song I think I like just a little bit better.
And you know what's weird? I think I know what that song is.
Do you really?
I do, because when I went through...
I'm really curious.
When I went through to put my list of things together, Evan told me that there was one song that was a duplicate. And I think I might know what it is. But we'll get to that in a bit.
All right.
Magnificent choice, sir. Magnificent
Thank you, sir.
Choice. All right. So here we go with my number 1. So I like Christmas music a lot. I think
that's why we're doing this.
Generally speaking, I feel like I like instrumental Christmas music. Like I love this. I love the melodies. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I'm, as somebody who mostly listens to video game music in my life, I'm very much into melody. And so a lot of Christmas songs have really great melodies. Now, one of the and this sounds hyperbolic, but I swear to you it's not. This is just the state of my existence. One of the most memorable and, like, I don't know, mentally altering, mind-blowing moments of my entire existence was the first time I ever saw and played a Super Nintendo.
Sure.
The first thing I ever played on a Super Nintendo was Super Mario World, and it remains one of my absolute favorite games of all time, but also just one of my favorite experiences of all time. There's something about that leap from, when I started gaming on the Atari, and I would look at the boxes and I would imagine that artwork on the boxes in these games with these little squares and stuff. It was this just profound imagination that would just explode. And then things moved on to the NES, and that jump from Atari 2600 to NES was massive.
Massive jump.
But it was still a lot of interpretation in my mind. You know what I mean? There was still, I would look at what's on the screen and then imagine what was in the instruction manual, and it was a hell of a lot closer. But then the Super Nintendo came along. Then it was experiencing like having just worshipped the Super Mario Brothers Super Show and just been in love with this Mario universe for my entire existence, as far as back as I could remember. I mean, Donkey Kong came out same year I did, so Mario was always there. And the Super Nintendo and Super Mario World, and just seeing it with these beautiful bright colors and just the steps forward in technology and animation, and the sound and Koji Kondo's music that he put together for this game, it had a melodic through line, which was so different from the previous Mario games, where the songs they all fit as in a cohesive soundtrack, but they weren't actually connected like they were in Super Mario World, where this is the theme of this world, and pretty much every song you hear in this entire game, pretty much every song is going to have some flavor of this series of notes in it. And it was having that consistent through line was just such a remarkable, mind-blowing experience to me from a musical perspective, as far as listening to something as a cohesive whole. Just truly magnificent. So there's this cover band called the 1UPs, and they're great. They're a lot of fun to listen to. And they made what I can only imagine is a song specifically for me.
They wrote it just for you.
I have never come across a piece of music that seemed so specifically tailored to my sensibilities as Super Mario Sleigh Ride by the 1UPs. I don't know if I feel like you must have heard this song before, Dan.
I'm sure I have.
This is a mashup of several Christmas songs, primarily Sleigh Ride, and the soundtrack to Super Mario World in such an incredibly intelligent and clever way, played to perfection by an extraordinarily talented group of musicians. It skyrocketed the moment I heard it to my number one favorite Christmas song, because like I said, it speaks to me so personally, as in, here is the actual soundtrack to one of the most important mental moments of my entire life, played on real instruments, mashed up with holiday cheer, Christmas being my favorite time of year. It's wonderful. So let's give it a listen. Here is Super Mario Sleigh Ride by the 1UPs, my favorite Christmas song. Enjoy.
Yeah, I mean that's my number one too. I mean that's so weird. That's outstanding. I have heard that before. It is written just for you. You're 100% right.
It's so good.
It's so good.
Oh my god, it's the subtleties of like they're always playing something from Mario World, except
That's
for
great.
the beginning when it's kind of just the original Mario theme. And it mixes up into like the Forest of Illusion. But man, when they hit that Donut Plains,
that's good stuff,
that
man.
map screen Donut Plains, and they just go through the medley of all these Christmas tunes, played on sax and trumpet and guitar, and just finishing it off with that. The bonus stage music, half bonus stage, half jingle bells. Oh,
yeah, that's great.
Just
Well done.
I'm in tears. It just I love this song so much, and I mean I listen to it over and over again. But like an opportunity like this to sit here and just put headphones on and close my eyes and hear nothing but this music, to really sit and listen to it. It's just. It is such a freaking masterpiece of like, obviously it's very silly and
sure,
and that's great. I love silly music, but
of
when
course,
you think about just the precision of how well this comes together. Of like, you can mash up stuff. Making mashups is not like super hard to do it on a very basic level, but to do it this intelligently, to really take what makes those songs work and mix them together where to the point where they're calling and answering and playing at the same time in so many different places that they just work so well. That's
a level of craftsmanship that is sorry, I'm tired and I've been drinking. That's really impressive.
God, I love this song. Bless the one-ups for this. It is my number one, without a doubt. I just love it with every fiber of my being. So, there it is. That's my number
there you
one.
go. All right, well, my number one, and if this was the same one that was on your list but missed your list, I question the integrity of your entire list, honestly, Kris. This, to me, I think it's not just the best Christmas song. It's not just my favorite Christmas song. I think it is one of the greatest songs of all time, which is quite high praise for a group that I like nothing else of their stuff, which is weird. A number of the songs that I've played this evening have been about this idea of the hopelessness and the hopefulness of this time of year. Nothing else captures that quite as well as this song. One of the things I find so incredible about this song is the earnestness of the lyrics, of the performances, there's a level of honesty that comes through in this song that sums up I think every relationship, especially every young relationship, that, relationships are, I've never enjoyed that phrase that relationships are work. I don't ever believe that relationships are work. I do believe that they can be hard at times because as humans, we're flawed and we're imperfect and we suck quite honestly a lot of the time. And this song really, really captures the loving the person that you love, flaws and all. It is an incredibly redemptive song that by the end of it is just this couple just back where they started. The dreams of the start of every relationship are challenged by the rough patches, and if you can get back to that feeling of where the dreams are, and what that felt like at the very beginning, it's like that's the hardest thing in the world. It's also the key to a happy, successful relationship. But it's incredibly, incredibly difficult. The one caveat with this song is that unfortunately, due to the time that it was written in and the country of origin for the singers of this particular song, there is a word in here that will get this song not played on mainstream radio any longer. Certainly not the original version of this song. And that is because the word faggot is used in this song. Which is, you can say everything you want about whether or not those words should be used, and obviously they shouldn't be, but we also have to account for time periods of when things come out, not excusing it, but giving reasons for things. The use of that word
is important.
Context is incredibly important.
In the context of this song, it's,
it makes sense. It works. Makes sense. It is a hauntingly beautiful song. It is one of those songs where from the first 7 seconds of it, you know what it is. It is The Fairy Tale of New York by the Pogues and Christy McCall. Enjoy.
I will.
It was Christmas Eve, babe, in the drunk tank. An old man said to me, "Won't see another one." And then he sang a song, the rare old mountain dew. I turned my face away and dreamed about you. Got on a lucky one, came in 18 to 1. I've got a feeling this year's for me and you. So happy Christmas, I love you, baby. I can see a better time when all our dreams come true.
They got cars big as bars, they got rivers of gold, but the windows right through you, it's no place for the old. When you first took my hand on a cold Christmas Eve, you promised me Broadway was waiting for me. You were handsome,
You were pretty queen of New York City. When the band finished playing, they held out for more.
Sinatra was swinging, all the drunks they were singing. We kissed on the corner, then danced through the night. The boys of the NYPD choir were singing, "Go away, babe," and the bells were ringing out for Christmas Day.
You're an old slut and junk lying there almost dead on a dripping hot bed.
You scumbag, you maggot, you cheap, lousy faggot. Happy Christmas, you're ours, I pray God it's our love.
The boys of the NYPD choir still singing, "Go away, babe," and the bells are ringing out for Christmas Day. Could have been someone.
Well, so could anyone. You took my dreams from me when I first found you.
I kept them with me, babe. I put them with my own. Can't make it all alone. I built my dreams around you. The boys of the NYPD choir still singing, "Go away, babe," and the bells are ringing out for Christmas Day.
Just, man.
It's a wonderful song. It's
what a song.
Just barely didn't make my top list. It's there's something about it. It's, I guess, overall Celtic nature that as a song doesn't quite line up with me personally.
Sure.
But just from a lyrical perspective and understanding how you experience music, it totally makes sense that this is your number one.
And it's just not even close. Honestly, like, I know I said a couple minutes ago that I think I like this a little bit more than This Christmas, but it's honestly not even close. I think it's one of the most perfect songs ever written. The journey that the performers go on throughout the song, that is then carried on through the strings, and the hopefulness and the upbeat nature of the strings at the end of that song. Because it almost feels like there should have been some more lyrics at the end of it there, but the strings themselves just kind of carry that through and say what would have been sung better than you could possibly sing it. For me. And just that I could have been someone, so could anyone. You took your dreams from me when I first found you. I kept them with me. I put them with my own. I can't make it on my own. I've built my dreams around you. That's your relationship right there. It's so perfectly captured. And what I thought was so brilliant, the addition of the word still to the boys of the NYPD choir are still singing Galway Bay. Like, it's okay. Like, we're going to get through whatever this nonsense is, whatever nonsense anybody is experiencing in their own personal relationships or work or any of those things. The fact that the choir is still singing this song, it's going to be all right. I just find it a hauntingly beautiful, perfect song, and is my number one Christmas song.
Outstanding. And it's a really solid pick. And I mean, like, I feel like our two number ones couldn't be more different, but that
could not be any more different. No.
Kind of a fascinating look at just how different music hits people different ways. Because I have, with the exception of your Paul McCartney pick, I have the utmost respect for everything you chose. And this was just a lot of fun. It was just a whole heck of a lot of fun. And,
this was a blast. And I hope all of you listening to this, I hope that you have enjoyed it. I hope that there were some new songs. Well, there's definitely at least one new song for everybody. But I hope that there was some new stuff that you hadn't heard, or some stuff that, like, maybe you haven't heard, like you said with the Tom Petty song, like, oh my God, I haven't heard this in forever. Mm-hmm. And go back and listen to it. Like, it's Christmas music is the holiday music, because there's some really wonderful Hanukkah songs as well. Like I jokingly said earlier that Modest Yahoo's Happy Hanukkah almost made my top 10, and it really almost did. It is a wonderful, wonderful song. But this holiday music really captures a particular kind of spirit that no other holiday music, certainly, but not a lot of other music doesn't capture either. And it's just really, really wonderful. And for the people who hate Christmas music, I feel bad for the empty black spot in your soul that should be filled at this time of year with joy and hopefulness.
Yeah, I don't have an ounce of religion in my house.
Me neither.
That's I personally, I take personal offense to the Keep Christ in Christmas two T-Rexes fighting over a ham images that I see all the time. Because that's not what this season means to me, and I don't think it's what this season means to a lot of people. It's about just being thankful for everything that is good in your life. And whereas this year has been particularly difficult. Last year was really hard for a lot of people, and I know that Dan and I both kind of experienced while yes, it was a horrible, horrible year overall, we both got a lot of really good things out of it.
Yeah. And there's a lot of guilt that comes along with that.
There absolutely is. And this year there was a lot of really good stuff that happened this year too. But this has been one of the most trying years in recent memories for me and our family. And this coming year is going to be a lot of the fallout from what we've been through, and it's going to be tough. But this time of year is a time of year where to just stop and be like, well, here's what we do have, here's what we still have, and here's who we still have, and
right.
That's the important stuff. And this music is the soundtrack to those feelings, which are some of the most important feelings that I look forward to every year. On the fun superficial stuff, like sitting in front of my computer and playing Christmas Lemmings is it's superficial, but it comes paired with this sense of joy and thankfulness that comes around this time of year, and there's just these wonderful traditions that come around every year that are tied to this specific holiday, we've mentioned Ferg a handful of times this evening. He sent a great list of his top 10 Christmas songs into the Discord. And one of my favorite things to do around Christmas time is he does a holiday special on his podcast every year. And listening to that on long drives back from visiting Karen's relatives or something is one of my favorite things to do every year.
Look forward to it.
Exactly. We do a bunch of Christmas movies, the same ones we watch every year. I mentioned Mr. Magoo's Christmas Carol. It was my mom's favorite Christmas movie. She introduced us to it when we were kids, and now when we decorate our Christmas tree, I will always put in that DVD and have that playing in the background while we're decorating the Christmas tree, and it will always it fills my heart with these wonderful feelings of comfort and joy. And that's what this season means to me. And just on a general wave of thankfulness and happiness, thank you from the bottom of my heart, Dan, for doing this show with me and keeping me sane all year long. Thank you, Evan, for editing the show so that
we don't have to.
So that any part of it that could be considered work gets taken away, and this can be this thing that I do every week, that I don't have to worry about it being work afterwards. So, Evan, humongous thank you to that. To everyone in our Discord chat that is always talking about games and bringing me so much regular joy and distractions when I need it the most. I mean, the folks in the Discord chat have just meant so much to me this year, for a lot of the tough stuff that I've been through, been able to just be like, well, what's going on in here? Some bullshit. Let's do it. Which has been great. And to everybody who listens to this show, I mean, what is this, episode 389?
Yeah.
This podcast that we do. And we've gotten some great emails from a lot of folks. I know we just got an email pretty recently from Jamie Hill that I did not bring up on last week's show, that I forgot to, and I said I was going to this time, but it was we've been going for ever. So, we don't really have a lot of gaming conversations, but it was a good email about Metroid stuff. So Jamie, I promise we will talk about this next week. I will bring it up in the first chunk of the show. But to every single person who is involved in this show, to everybody involved in Stone Age Gamer that employs me, really just everybody involved, the deepest, most heartfelt thanks and the happiest of holidays to every single one of you.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're all pretty okay too. I definitely have my favorites, but most of you are okay. Nah, man, shit. How do I follow that up? I mean, ditto. Fucking same, man. Absolutely 100% heartfelt love and appreciation and thank you. And like, you know, I know I say it around jokingly and whatever, because that's just me. You know, but I love you. I love Evan. You know, you guys bring me a ton of joy and happiness, and for all the bullshit that happens in the world, this is at least a few hours every week where it can be like, let's just fucking hang out, man, and that's all right. And could not be any more thankful or grateful or appreciative of that. And for all of you who continue to listen, you know, the fact that we bring people joy, that people look forward to this show every week, you know, I hope we continue to deliver something that brings your life happiness. And we appreciate you. I certainly do.
We certainly do. All right, everyone. That's
yeah, that's it. Let's go back to being cynical assholes next week.
That's it.
All right, that's it.
Our show.
Fuck
Join
Tommy
us next
Tallarico.
week. Yeah.
There you go.
There it is.
NFTs are stupid. I hate the Xbox. There we go. Did we get it all in? All right, I think.
NFTs are so fucking stupid. But I love my Xbox. This thing's been great. But yeah, NFTs.
Ugh. Gross. I don't know. I'm just trying to stay in character. I feel like a broke character there for a minute.
Puzzle and Dragons.
All right, everyone.
Puzzle and Dragons. Puzzle and Dragons. MLB The Show. Good stuff. Play it.
Thank you.
Game of the year.
Thank
you,
Evan. Coming in clutch again.
That's right.
What
He's good. He's real good.
All right, everyone. Join us next week when Dan and I play a little catch-up. We missed the November 10, 20, 30, 40, which just so happened to be a remarkably beefy one. We're talking about the launch of the GameCube and the Xbox. Like, a lot of stuff going on. So, it's gonna be a show. I think the entire first part's just gonna be responding to Jamie's email, and then going right to the 10, 20, 30, 40, so we can discuss that for several hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, good time. So, hey, we're on most social media platforms. And if you want to get in touch with us, we aren't very difficult to find. All it takes is a quick look at our show notes, and you'll see links to our social media accounts, as well as all manner of other fun stuff, like a link to our namesake, StoneAgeGamer.com, the Geekade Patreon, which helps us keep the show running week after week, and more useful links than you can shake a stick at. This show's theme song, Squared Roots, was written by Banjo Guy Ali, which, you know, I don't think he listens to this show, but if he happens to listen to this one, a gigantic thank you to Banjo Guy Ali for providing some of the most listened to music of the year for me, including one of his most recent covers was a song from Lemmings that positively melts my heart. Anyway, you can learn all about his wonderful music and more by following the link to his YouTube channel, also in our show notes. And finally, as always, we'd like to thank our wonderful, intrepid, sexy as fuck editor, Evan, for making the show listenable for all you folks. We'd like to thank all you folks for listening in the first place. That's it, everybody. Thanks again for listening. On behalf of Dan and myself, keep playing games.